Good evening, my cherished settlers. Gather close and lend me your ears. Today marks a momentous occasion as we prepare to embark on a journey of growth and transformation. The time has come to enhance our beloved settlement with new structures that will elevate our community to new heights. First and foremost, we shall lay the foundations for a new, vibrant marketplace, a bustling hub where our artisans and farmers can showcase their finest goods. Imagine the lively chatter of merchants, the enticing aromas of fresh produce, and the vibrant colors of handcrafted wares. This marketplace will not only serve as a place of commerce, but a gathering spot for our community, fostering connections and camaraderie among us all. Next, we will establish an additional trading post, a gateway to the world beyond our borders. Here, we will boost our economy with foreign traders with distant lands, exchanging our bountiful resources for their exotic goods. And let us not forget the heart of our community, our residential neighborhood. We will create a welcoming space where families can thrive, where laughter echoes through the streets, and where children can grow and play. With well-planned homes and communal areas, we will foster a sense of belonging and unity, ensuring that our settlement is not just a place to live, but a true home. So rise with me, my fellow settlers. Let us embrace this opportunity for growth and transformation. The future of our manor is in our hands, and with our collective effort, we shall build a legacy that will be remembered for generations to come. Heyo and welcome to another episode of Build and Battle Season 3, where we will build a beautiful medieval city while battling off famine, mutiny, and the bitter cold. In the last episode, we focused on bulking up our survival necessities. We built a cozy little firewood camp at the edge of our forest beneath our cliffside, expanded our meat production near our apple orchards, and bulked up our storage in our city center. So if you happen to miss the last episode, then click on the info card above, or if you're looking for a new Manor Lord series to binge watch, then check out the entire Build and Battle Season 3 playlist located in the description below. In today's episode, I want to actually prepare for the upcoming patch that was announced on, I think, November 22nd. While we will not be creating a new map in Season 3, I am wicked excited to explore the new building upgrades. Now, I specifically interpreted that as a level 4 or higher burgage plot, so cross your fingers that we will be able to do just that. In the meantime, I want to expand our city centers so that we can continue to build an aesthetic design from the founding point at the top of the cliff with the highest levels of artisans up at the peak of the cliff to the lowest levels of our rural farmlands. So are you enjoying Build and Battle Season 3? If so, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments some of the cool things you have built in your settlements. If you can't wait to watch a new episode unfold, consider becoming a channel member for exclusive perks, emojis, and early access to videos. And don't miss out on our Season 3 merchandise linked in the description below. Alrighty, I'm wicked excited to start today's build, so kick back, grab your caffeinated beverage of choice, and let's jump right on into it. I would like to begin today by laying out what I plan on becoming a secondary city center of sorts, partially down the cliffside. Back when we started Namatine, I knew we would need another city center, and I have been holding off until we filled in the highest elevated part of our cliff near the manor house. Now that we have the burgage plots in place, I want to establish the second city center so that we have an anchor point for expansion and a guide to fill in the space between the two marketplaces. So let's start with the marketplace itself, and I have decided on a quaint, if simple design in this area where we have about 4 different roads converging across the map. The design was inspired by the logic behind it. If we have traders coming into this area, they would be converging on this spot, and thus this would be seeing a lot of foot traffic, depending on whether the traders came in from the bottom, right, and left-hand sides of the map, as well if there were any artisans coming down from the cliffside up near our original city center. So let's draw in what might honestly end up being my biggest marketplace yet. And I kind of want to use some roads to spice up the area with some additional 1, foot roads, and 2, just to see if the road can act as a little bit of decoration in this area. Now, at the top of the cliff in our original marketplace, I encircled the marketplace with some artesian burgage plots. To add variety to our second city center, let's focus this area less on the creation and sale of goods and more on the public space and community a marketplace provides by adding a tavern directly in the middle of this marketplace. And I'm honestly a little curious if we can plant some trees in front of the tavern and around the marketplace with the forester's hut. I'm going to use the hut down near the farmlands as that area isn't in dire need of new tree saplings, and reassign their work area up here in front of the tavern. And then honestly, we'll just keep an eye on the area, see if we can get any tree saplings built so that we have a little garden area and some shade for our tavern goers. Now let's add another trading post down here, as it is a wonderful, wonderful spot for it, as the four roads are kind of conversing on themselves. So just to kind of zoom out here and give you a little bit of an idea, you can have people or traders coming in from this line here, out here in our second forestry area, and out here in our right-hand territory. So I do want to get a trading post in here. And I think I'm actually going to expand on this marketplace design a little bit, add another curved road here, and put one here, another one here, and maybe put our trading post right at the top of it. So let's jump in, let's take a look at it, let's see if these roads can decorate this area up a little bit more, because I do kind of like these little oval teardrop shapes. And I think I'm going to add 2 stables here as well to flank the trading post with some additional horses. Okay, I think that came out pretty nice. I wish I could kind of rotate this a little bit more, or at least when we got, you know, the blueprint, I wish I kind of had a better idea of how I knew where the front of the building would be. But I'm satisfied enough with how this came out. So let's move on. Since we now have this additional trading post in, I want to admit my own stupidity several episodes back where I did not include gambesons in our trade. For some reason, my single brain cell thought that I wasn't able to sell gambesons because we weren't, what's the words I'm looking for? It's a military item and we weren't playing a military-based game. So for some reason, I figured that meant I can't trade gambesons. Yeah, that was dumb. I wasn't able to actually sell the gambesons because it's considered a luxury item and I need to create a designated trade line for it. So, oops. That was such a silly moment of mine. So let's come in and establish a trade line for those gambesons. And while we are here, let's also review our current trade thresholds, as this is something we will want to do frequently to ensure we are supplying our citizens with the goods they need to grow and prosper, but also sell the excess so that our region is very, very wealthy. Because the wealthier the region, the more I can tax them. So let's go through and let's adjust all of these. So while that will cover today's work at the trading post, we are not completely done yet. I want to make sure we have a tailor producing the gambesons, so we came back up to the cliffside here, and I'm going to look at all the different tailors we have and make sure we have at least 1 to 2 homes producing the gambesons. Now let's work on preparing for the hopefully new burgage plot levels that will be coming in the upcoming patch. Right now the plan is to expand the burgage plots around our new marketplace, since this was the anchor point for our second city center, and when the patch launches we will upgrade the plots at the top of the cliff first, since logically it does make sense that the oldest areas of the settlement would have the most time to grow and become prosperous over time and, thus upgrade. So let's start by drawing just a small handful of plots in around the new city center. I don't want to go too crazy right now because I don't want to offset all the building we did last episode, nor do I want to enrage the king's tax and devour all our food production we have worked so hard to grow. Now, with the upcoming patch, we will also be getting 2 additional maps. While I'm wicked excited about the new maps and would love to play on these new maps, I still have tons of designs and expansion plans for Namatine. Therefore, I am going to focus on our current map and the expansion plans for this season instead of a new map itself. Therefore, I would like to enact our Tithe again, and I will leave it as a very small and passive 1%, as I feel the Tithe is brutal on our food supplies and we are balancing our food on a very precarious line, and I don't want our people to starve. So let's come on in and let's change that to 1%. And honestly, I think because I do have a lot of open burgage plots that I would like to get filled in, let's bring the land tax down to maybe 12%. I want to start getting some more families moving in, and while we did get a few additional families this episode, it was minuscule. We have a lot of apple orchards that need families to help harvest the apples during the, what's the words I'm looking for? The fall time? Autumn, there we go. So anyway, let's adjust our taxes and our Tithe in general. Alrighty everyone, I think that just about wraps up today's episode. And look, it worked. We got trees around our tavern. Anywho, if you enjoyed today's episode, please hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment to me down below letting me know your thoughts on today's build. If you're excited to see the next episode unfold, consider becoming a channel member for the exclusive perks, emojis, and early access to videos. And don't forget to check out our Build&Battle Season 3 merchandise linked in the description below. Until next time, I hope everyone has a phenomenal week.